3, 2, 1.
I already did it.
You already did it? That's all we did. What happens on live stays on live. You're super excited. I'm down in downtown Salt Lake. The familysearch.org is a free service that anybody can use anywhere in the world. And I am joined with our friend Amy, who is an expert here. And Amy, why don't you give us a little bit of a tour so people can get excited about if they know what Family Search is or the free resources you have here.
I would love that. So you should know that this floor doesn't look anything like a library. This is called our Discovery Experience. Each of these big screens, we can see all around this room. You can come in, you can discover more about you. You can discover a map of where your ancestors lived and even their migration patterns. You can see what famous people you're related to. And all of that happens by just getting a free account for familysearch.org.
I love that. And you can also download the app. And one of my favorite features, Amy, with the app is we can search to see relatives around us. And
Yes.
if you have yours on, we can see how we're related. And it would say like you're my 11th cousin twice removed or something. And that is so cool.
It is.
But you know, I think so when people come in here, they walk to those doors, you get thousands of people a day that walk through here. They first come here to get their pictures so they can post it, right?
Yes, definitely.
That's super exciting. But I feel that there are so many families that are losing a connection. Like when we were growing up, we would have dinner, there were no cell phones. We would sit down at the table, we would connect. And now it's like everyone's on their phone or doing things. And Family Search is a way to bring that back to your family.
Absolutely.
And, yes.
Yeah, and talking about stories, we still need to do that. You still need to talk about stories. You can look up with familysearch.org. You can get on. You can find an ancestry. You can find memories. You can make pictures. You can make stories together with your children, with your siblings. You can learn and discover and connect, and that's what we're all about here.
And this is your legacy that you can leave for your family, because you can upload pictures of your grandparents or interviews with your grandparents or great-grandparents.
Or just memories, stories that you have.
That's
memories
awesome.
that you made cookies with grandma or went fishing with grandma.
My favorite thing is to remember her stuffing that she would make at Thanksgiving.
Stuffing.
Oh my goodness. Well, let's take a tour.
Yeah, okay.
Awesome.
So, like I said, if you just look at this floor, we call this our discovery zone. And this is really kind of where the magic happens. So that people can come in. We get people who have layovers and they come to Salt Lake City, they're flying through and they come and spend 2 hours here at the Family Search Library. Those are my favorite
I
guests.
love that.
So you can see we have computers that people can get help with. They can work on their own, but we have a ton of helpers here in the library that will help you with your research, help you start an account. And then we have 4 more floors besides this.
Wow. And they're volunteers, and they wear these green badges with their names on it. So
we have most of the people who work here are volunteers, but we also have paid staff, research specialists, and then of course all the amazing engineers and people who develop everything to make Family Search so wonderful and accessible.
that is so cool. And I love the fact that it's brought me back. I've been able to trace my history back to 400 BC. And that was about 7 years of working on my genealogy. But it's amazing when you do start doing it. It becomes addicting in a good way.
It is. Oh, it's the best obsession ever. I had a person come in and I was helping him. He said, I came in for an hour yesterday and I've been here for 12 hours. So once you get started, it's really hard to stop. And what's awesome, you can get help just through the website. We have 6,000 Family Search centers all over the world.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I'm from Hartford, Connecticut. So there's a Hartford Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints located in Bloomfield, Connecticut. The Stake Center, it's called.
And they have a Family Search center.
And they have a Family Search Center there. So you can go anywhere. You go on their website. Or actually, Donnie Osmond has on his website, See How We're Related. And there's a link that takes you to familysearch.org.
I think I might be related to them, actually.
That is so cool. That is so cool. So show us some of the highlights here.
Okay, so do we want to
It's up to you. It's up to you. Let's see what people love when they come to Family Search.
Like I said, the discovery is really kind of awesome. See if I can get this to go. This will be really.
I get it. But hey, what happens on live stays on live.
We'll make it happen.
Thank you for bearing with us. I don't have our fancy equipment today. So we're just happening, and then that will allow you to, it says enter a 5-digit code.
So if you can scan the QR code, and so I'm just going to sign into my account. It's going to take a minute because that's how technology
That's fine, and especially when you're doing live, I get it.
Yes, especially then.
But we love your patience.
So once I get signed into my account.
So let us know if you have comments for us at all, because we have the experts here and they can answer it. If they don't know the answers,
I've
we
got
can
my
find
code.
it. Okay. And then go.
Okay. So we've got all these different activities that we can do.
Wow.
So I can see
Famous relatives.
famous relatives. Let's see.
Let's
Let's see
do
if I
that.
really am. Yes, allow. Okay. So these are people who are in the library that I'm related to.
Wow.
But I
Wow.
can go to, let's see which entertainers I'm related to. I'm related to Walt Disney.
Walt Disney.
So I can press the button, and then I can see how
It will
I'm
show you.
related. Yep.
So he's your 8th cousin, twice removed.
But what will happen with this is you can go up to the common ancestor. So at some point in history, we have a common ancestor.
I love
And then
that.
it takes, we've got Mary and Margaret who are siblings, and then we take the lines down. So I can look at
Wow.
leaders in the country,
That's
US leaders.
amazing. President Roosevelt. I mean, this is amazing. Oh,
Are you related to him?
No, I thought I was, because back when I was, 40 years ago, I had a relative that flew to Salt Lake, back when they had to do it all through on pencil. And she said she was related to Abraham Lincoln because she was my cousin. I thought I was related. So I bought a big bust of Abraham Lincoln's head and had it in my foyer when you walk in. And then I realized when I did my family history, I wasn't related to Abraham Lincoln.
You just admire him.
Yeah, I can admire him, but I do love him. Yeah.
Yes. So famous relatives is really fun.
Oh, and look here, this is awesome.
Yeah, and we can look at trailblazers. So we've got, these are people who came across Mayflower passengers. But also, I'm related to Neil Armstrong.
Neil Armstrong, wow.
So there's Neil Armstrong, and I can
This is
find
amazing.
my
Your
common
7th
ancestor.
cousin.
Yep.
Yeah. So this is, I mean, you could literally be lost in here for weeks going through this.
And then if you decide to get really into your history, we have the 3rd floor and the bottom floor that are full of books. We have 600,000 books from the library.
That's amazing.
And computers and research specialists, we have people on the international floor covering about 40 different languages. So,
That's amazing.
but wherever your heritage is, we try to have the resources in it.
Please, don't hesitate to reach out to Family Searcher if you're ever in Salt Lake and want to visit this, or anywhere in the world and want to go to one of their 6,000, you said, locations. I just want to make sure I'm correct with this.
6,000 locations.
But you can also do this on your smartphone, on your tablet.
These activities are all available through our website, and they're a lot of
Love
fun.
it.
So you can discover all about you. And
Wow. So what about where am I
let's
from?
do the where am I from. This is probably my favorite because who doesn't love a map?
I
Who doesn't
know.
love a good map? So whenever I look at where am I from, this is my favorite one. Here's this guy floating in the ocean.
Oh.
He was born at sea.
Really?
He was born at sea.
I love that.
George Crozier, and he was born at sea.
Wow.
And even the census, when it says where are you from, he says, or where were you born? At sea. So I can look at, so you can hear that.
Wow.
Let me do that a little bit slower. I can
Yeah.
zoom into an area. I can go into I've got people all over England.
Look at this.
And I can
Look at this.
I can
Denmark. We have a friend, Karen, who lives in Cedar City, who's from Denmark. This is great.
Yeah. So then you can see where they were born. You can see how you're related to them. And again, all of this is on the app, and it's also on the website.
I love it. I think I'm going to be up all night playing with this.
I think so,
Because,
too.
yeah, this reminds me of my iPhone. It shows me where I took photos, all over. So
Yeah,
it's
where it
kinda-
tracks
yeah.
everything. So that's what this has done. As long as these people are in the tree, it's going to track them, and then you can see.
So imagine how much fun this would be if if you have a family and you feel like you're disconnected from your children. and you can invite them to do this with you as a project, to be able to connect with them, and they could see where their relatives are from or where their ancestors are from. And you can do this as a family or as a group. That's amazing. What's your testimony about family history?
Well, as a member of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, this is something that it's such a big part of our doctrine, and so I've always been interested in my family history. I've heard the stories, my pioneer heritage, but for me, I just really felt propelled forward to do more and more, and I was always at my local family history center, and so I was just there all the time, and finally I decided to get a degree in it, so I got my degree, my master's in genealogy, and
here you are.
Here I am today.
That's amazing. And I have to say for myself, it was been the past 7 years, I have found out I'm the oldest firstborn grandson on the German side. And being able to sit down with my grandmother and get the note before she passed away a few years back, I was able to find out so much information about my ancestors just by talking to my grandmother. I feel closer to my roots and closer to my ancestors, that I can share this with my cousins and leave a legacy for them to use, as they may not know my grandmother or grandfather as much as I did, because I was blessed to grow up in the house next to them. And so there's so much history to be had, but I had no clue that it would become this lifelong passion. So I can testify that it's a way for you to connect with your family or friends or loved ones and show them the work you've done and get them invited to also participate in this. And you can receive the joys that we've all received.
Every day.
Thank you so much. Well, thank you. This was such a blessing to be here. I appreciate this. You're awesome. I know we really connected. We were talking for quite a while before we went live. But if you again have any questions, please let us know in the comments. And if I don't know the answers, I'll find out where to get them. We'll say bye for now.
I'll just